We have got cricket royalty in the studio with us now. I'm very pleased to say that we've got both Kumar Sangakkara and Mahela Jayawardena in the studios here at SEN. Gentlemen, firstly, welcome to SEN.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you for having us on.
Have you been watching much of the T20 World Cup?
A little bit, not too much because we've been here in Melbourne for the last couple of days, but yeah, we watched as much as we can.
What are you doing here in Melbourne when you've got the World Cup going on in Sri Lanka?
Completely not related to cricket. So we're here because we've opened a Ministry of Crab, a restaurant that we started 14 years ago together back in Sri Lanka, and we've expanded internationally. And we've come to Melbourne as well. So we're open on Flinders Lane, and we're having an event tonight. A few drinks, a bit of a laugh, friends, and everyone just coming in. And we're here saying we're open and ready for business in Melbourne.
So Mahela, tell us what if I was to go to your restaurant?
Yeah.
What am I going to purchase? What am I going to take off the menu?
Oh, you have to hit the crabs. I mean, that's the main ingredient, the mud crab, and it's sourced locally in Australia. So that's our policy as well. We get local ingredients, but obviously cooked in a way that what we've done back home in Sri Lanka. So the flavors are there. So that's the main dish. You need to. My favorite is chili garlic. Kumar might be different, but it's something special. We've taken it around to different countries as well. We have a local twist into it. There'll be few local ingredients involved, but the main restaurant what we've created 14 years ago, we try and keep that going as well. So it's something special. Quite a few Australians have tasted that in Sri Lanka and in their travels, and a lot of people wanted us to come to Melbourne. So finally, we're here.
Absolutely. What's your favourite dish, Kumar?
So I've got a few. So the chili garlic or garlic chili, we've never agreed which way to go with that. But that's brilliant. It's an olive oil based dish with garlic and chili, of course. But you have the crab liver pate, which is incredibly good, but very difficult to kind of get per quantity. It's like 1% of a crab weight that goes into a pate. We do freshwater prawns as well, and the concept was born out of the fact that we went out for dinner, had a little bit too much to drink. Thought we start a restaurant because mud crab is a species of crab that we have in common between Sri Lanka and Australia. But in Sri Lanka, all the best mud crab gets exported to Singapore. Everyone goes to Singapore and says, I had this incredible Singapore chili crab, and most of that crab, the large crabs, come from Sri Lanka. So we're like, well, why the hell don't we serve this here? Highlight our ingredient and give it the respect it deserves in country. We're like, we'll do it ourselves. And I thought, 6 months, close it down. A bit of a laugh. But it was Mahela and myself. We had an American friend called Andy Hager, who was, initially part of the whole concept, and then Darshan Munidasa, who's our third partner and chef. He's half Japanese. He had a lovely Japanese restaurant in Sri Lanka. So we got to talking, and he said, "Yeah, okay, let's get it done." And instead of 6 months, we're here, 14 years later. So I mean, it's great. Darshan's got us into Asia's top 50, I think, in our third year. I've been very lucky to have great partners in other countries as well. And in Sri Lanka, our flagship that we opened in 2011 is now a destination restaurant. Anyone who travels into Sri Lanka will always stop by at our restaurant. So we're pretty happy to bring it to Melbourne. I know Melbourne's a very sophisticated food city, but I think everyone will enjoy the fact that we have the freshest ingredients, done simply, cooked well. It's absolutely tasty. We don't use freezers or chillers, so we just want to highlight, the best of Australian ingredients and highlight the food.
Fantastic. We'll get back to it a little bit later on in our chat because I'm keen to know a little bit more. But I was talking before you arrived here about what both of you have achieved in cricket. It is quite remarkable between both of you. There's nearly 24,000 test runs. There's 26,000 one-day international runs. It's It's remarkable what you've done. I'll ask you first, Mahela. What are you most proud of with what you've achieved in cricket?
I think most proud of is the friendship. I mean, Kumar and I pretty much grew together. We finished our school cricket year apart, and then joined the national team and had that run together. But the group that we had, I mean, guys like Shaminda Vas, Muttaya Muralidharan, Lasit Malinga, Dilshan,
Sanat.
it was a Sanat. It's a great group of guys, and we thoroughly enjoyed playing cricket together. Um, I mean, 5 World Cup finals, won one. We had a brilliant run. I think rather than individual performances of what we've achieved, it's just that period of time, how much we enjoyed playing cricket together as a group, and playing for Sri Lanka. That was a massive honor for us, and to be able to say that this is what we did. Then looking back, I think both of us, it's almost 10 years or past 10 years that we've retired,
Which is scary.
Getting old.
To see that it's something special, and especially when you come to places like Melbourne, fond memories. Time here. My first overseas proper tour was to Australia in '98. An ODI triangular series. That's where I made my mark. So there have been some amazing memories, and I think we're going to visit MCG later on as well. So that'll be something special for us.
Absolutely. What about for you, Kumar? I mean, a batting average of 58. I know it's not just about figures, but the way that you were able to have such an influential role in your team, both as a wicketkeeper but also as a top order batsman.
Yeah, I think that that was a large part of what you get obsessed with when you're playing. Trying to make sure that you're performing at the level the side needs. Then you have your personal kind of benchmarks, wanting to be among the best that's played the game. And I think, like Mahela said, we had great friendships and relationships that lasted beyond cricket. But at the same time, those very friendships, when we were playing cricket in the same team, kind of really pushed us on to be more and more competitive and raise the bar as much as possible. And I think when you take from 2003, when I played my first World Cup, which was long after Mahela started, from 2003 till 2015 when we retired, we had this incredible run of semi-finals and finals in World Cups, 5 World Cup finals, 2007, 9, 11, 12, and 14. It was an incredible performance by our team. So that always sticks in my mind. But more importantly, we've met a lot of great people. We've remained friends way beyond our retirements and doing things together. We love playing against Australia, tough as ever. But I think it's when you consider all of that and you look back, I think you have great memories when you played, but also it's formed the basis of what we're doing now as well.
So when you were growing up, who were your heroes that you wanted to bat like, to be like, to wicket keep like, that saw you?
Well, wicket keep like was a distant dream because I was a terrible wicket keeper at school level. Viv Richards.
Yeah. Yep.
Until Brian Lara came along, and I've been very fortunate. I've got to know Sir Viv very, very well. Brian the same. And then Aravinda De Silva from a Sri Lankan perspective as a batter. And, it's incredible when I look back and all these people I've idolized. I played against Brian. I played with Aravinda. I know them really, really well. And Mahela is a little bit humble when he said we played school cricket together. When he was 16, everyone was saying he's going to play for Sri Lanka. At 16, when he was playing school cricket, and he made his debut in '97. I came quite a few years later. But we had so many great players to look up to at that time, and I mean there are great players now as well. But we always think that our time was the time. It's not like when we used to play with larger than life characters. Warney was a great example as well. But yeah, so those three would be my main kind of idols in cricket.
And your favourite shot? I always remember your cover drive.
Yeah,
as the shot that I loved.
I mean, I unfortunately, it became like, ask Kumar, it has to be the cover drive. I would have loved to say the reverse sweep or the switch hit, but it's not something that I could play. I was terrible at it. I think in my whole career, if you count, I would say I played probably 4 reverse sweeps, over the 15 years I played cricket. So yeah, I'm stuck with the cover drive, but it's not bad.
It's not a bad one to have. Mahela, I'll ask you about, it's obviously a T20 World Cup at the moment. Just how much cricket has changed from when you first started playing to where we're at now? And, you're involved in the IPL. You played, obviously, you played in the BBL as well, and
Yeah.
a lot of T20 cricket. Just how much the game's changed, transformed.
I think it's evolving pretty much year on year. I think if you look at the younger generation who's come, it's just the fearless cricket that they're playing. Obviously, we played to a certain extent, but it was still a little bit more cautious, calculated. But I mean, if you see this generation, the way they take on the bowler, especially the batsmen, the confidence that they have, and even the skill set of the bowlers, the different variations that have to come. Because I mean, we saw the game last night. I watched a little bit England West Indies. I mean, Rutherford just came and changed everything within space of 4 overs. I mean, that's how it is. So it's quite unpredictable. The South Africa Afghanistan game,
That was amazing.
Two
two
super
super
overs.
overs. Yeah. But the skills are getting improved. The guys are stronger, and just the confidence that they have to tee off from ball one and take the game on. It's amazing to see that. So I mean, it's brilliant. I mean, love enjoying because we're involved with the IPL and seeing what's happening because all the best cricketers obviously is there, and the amount of leagues which is happen around the world now because we've been involved with quite a few in different parts of the world through our franchises and the enthusiasm and the younger talent coming through as well in different parts of the world. It's exciting to see that. So really enjoys it.
And then there's the balance around taking the game on, being brave, but also when we think from a test match point of view, still being able to have the mental capacity to bat a long time. Now, you made 374 in a test match, and I think you batted about 5 days when you did that, which it's still hard to comprehend what you did that day. Are the players losing that ability, or is it just the nature of the way they want to play the game?
No, I don't think they're losing. I think still you get guys who will dig deep and bat long periods, how it demands. But I think the game has evolved in such a way. If you take like 90% of Test cricket right now, you get results because the way the guys bat, the pace that they bat. It's exciting to see that, and it happened in times that we played as well, like guys like Gilly would come and do that. Sanath would score 100 before lunch. I've seen him doing that couple of times, and he would just change the game. Shevak would do the same. Warner used to do that as well. So there were bits and pieces of guys who did that in a team, and then you had the rest who were like us, just consolidate. But now we have more and more cricketers who's batting at that pace, which is exciting to see. It's a phase. I believe it's good for Test cricket, and it's exciting to watch. But like you said, you need to understand that Test cricket, the challenges are different, the conditions are different, the tactics are different. Longer periods, you need to be able to sustain pressure or gauge that. So it's. I mean, we saw the Ashes. What happened? I mean, the first few games, where the game changed in few sessions, or how it happened, and see Test match cricket in India, how it's been played differently. In England, it's different. South Africa, it's different. It's good to see all that, and watching from home, love it. I love it. I mean, it's good to see all this. I know that there's a lot of uh, how analyzing has changed the social media and everything. When we played, we never got criticized that,
Yeah.
that way. It was the newspaper or the radio or the TV, but now it's much more in your face kind of
Very
criticism.
intense. Yeah.
Very intense. It's how the cricketers handle that as well. It's tough, but that's that's the world that we're living in, and the game has evolved, and the players have evolved. That's how it should be, and as long as we have that element of Test cricket, ODI cricket, T20 cricket evolving and improving. And as a former cricketer, for me to see that it's still exciting, that's the way to go.
So, Kumar, we've got Ollie Peake coming into the studio in an hour's time. I'm not sure how much you've seen of Ollie Peake as an emerging player here in Australia. He's just captain Australia in the Under-19 World Cup. For young players that are coming through, what's your advice? As someone that has done what you've done in Test match cricket, but then is also someone that is coach of an IPL team, as you have been for such a long period of time. What advice are you giving them to give them the best foundation to be the best player they can be?
Yeah, so I've seen a little bit of Ollie Peake actually through the Under-19 World Cup, and he's playing alongside some incredibly exciting cricketers from other countries. Thomas Rue and Ben Mays from the UK. You have Vaibhav Suryavanshi from India.
That is crazy what he's
you're,
doing.
You're talking about such a competitive landscape. I mean, for a young cricketer coming up, I think it's a very exciting time, but you don't have to pigeonhole yourself into a particular format. You can love one format over the other, but you have to keep an open mind and be able to understand that having your skill improve to a level where your game can sustain all three formats and be available to play all three formats is very, very important. At the same time, you have to build resilience because it is a very, very tough landscape. So much competition. And I mean, Mahela just spoke about the Ashes, the ability to be mentally resilient and have the skills, the mental skills to stand up under pressure. That's what really differentiates a great player from a good player or a great team from a good team, to win those big moments, that recognize them and then be able to convert them in your favor. Those are the real skills that's going to help you stand apart, because you'll have generational talents come and go, but we've seen generational talents fall short of their potential or way short of their potential. So skill is one aspect of it. Who you are and your mental skills, your coping mechanisms are going to be one of the most important aspects to complement that skill and take you into that kind of the upper level of an elite player. So for Ollie or for any young cricketer, embrace it, have great fun playing it, but make sure that you equip yourself with the tools that's required to adapt to a very fast-changing landscape of cricket.
So when you're looking at a player and says, "Oh, gee, I'm impressed by him," is it more the ability to play cover drive that we were talking about before, or is it more the ability to stand up under pressure and make the right decision at the right moment in that intensity?
Yeah, I think for young players, it's an education through experience, exposure, and other support aspects that home boards or franchises can provide. The biggest differentiator in sport is skill. You have to have that exceptional skill. You have to have the ability to adapt and change and add to that skill as you go along, so you don't really get stale or hit a wall and there's nothing more out there for you to do. And once you identify that skill, and that's again, if you're a selector, if you're an analyst, that's all you're trying to do. You're trying to understand skill that differentiates, your player and your team from another. Once you do that, then you can get a deeper understanding of the person. But if you only concentrate on skill and think, okay, I've got this great skill and I'm not going to do anything else with these players and help them to become mentally more resilient, stronger, more skillful, then you're selling yourself and the players short. So one of the responsibilities as a franchise, as a home board, as a national team or a franchise team is to have the right support structures in place that allows for the development of your players, both in skill, both in their mental capacities, and also in character, because you want to have people who go through a system actually end up on the other side post-career, still being able to adjust and live life in a more normal world. So all of that is important, but the first aspect is, can he play? Does he have the skill? And that's where you start your journey.
Thank you so much for coming in. We really appreciate it. It's a real treat to have you here to hear you talk about cricket. I could probably talk to you about this time next week, but I know we can't do that. Before we let you go, I want the address. I'm going to put you under pressure here, Mahela. The name of the restaurant, the address, So people, because there's a big Sri Lankan community here in Melbourne as well. That a lot of them are playing cricket here in Melbourne as well as living here. Where do we go?
Flinders Lane. I mean, it's a pretty decent address. There's quite a few restaurants on that area. It's a very buzzing little town in Melbourne. We've used to stay in South Bank whenever we
Yep.
played, so we used to do those walks around the bank, and so it's Ministry of Crab, Flinders Lane.
Very good. Now I've got a veterans team. We play Tuesday nights. If you're still hanging around on Tuesday and you want a game of cricket on Tuesday night, you're more than welcome to play
I
for
haven't.
Warrandyte in the T20
I think-
competition.
I think when you say veterans, we definitely qualify
Yeah,
now.
that's right.
I haven't held a bat for a long time. If you ask
I
me,
reckon you'd make a few runs though.
if you ask me,
Scotty.
if you ask me to come and play a round of golf, I'll definitely
Oh,
take
we
that
can
on.
organise.
Yeah.
We can organise that as well.